Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining out, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are back at it again. New layout, new design, new graphics, new all sorts of stuff over here on Future Financial Strategies. You will see this going across the channel. I got feedback. They said, if you're going to talk about finance, you got to show your face. And since I show my face everywhere else already, I figured why not show my face here as well? Well, as I've stated, all of the donations that I get from the Guns and Butter show are going back into the platform. They're going back in to support the movement. This is one of our first major upgrades. Is we're retconning all the shows. Now the brand is across the board. Y'all going to see me every time chilling in here in my little micro studio. That's growing little bit by little bit, but this is a big bit because this is a good change in the way that things are going to be functioning around here moving forward. We're making it better. We hit 100 subs. I told you there was going to be an unlock at 100 subs, and this is the unlock. Let me tell you, there's going to be another one at 250. We're going to have some other stuff going on at 250, but your attention, your contribution, your support matters. You take me serious, I take you serious. So here we go. We're going to get into it. So we're going to start off. First of all, thank you, and I appreciate all of you. That's the first thing. Second of all, we're going to talk about something that's big that's happening in the news that goes along with one of my pet peeves about traditional finance. Make this a little bit bigger. You guys ain't got to see my face right now. But Robinhood has to pay $9.9 million to settle class action suit over the outages in 2020 during the GameStop and AMC bull runs. The one time that the common man beat the system, figured out how the system worked, because they made everybody stay at home, so people figured out how to trade. They started figuring out how stuff works. And the system and those at the top of said system were so lazy that they weren't even hiding what they were doing. They were just brazenly overextended because nobody had the time to look at the numbers and see that these people were overextended. So they played the game against them and won. And what happened? The system made it so that they couldn't win anymore. We had grown men that were online, and if I can find it, I'm going to pull it up because we can do a lot of stuff in this stream now. Hold on, let me see here. Wall Street crying about traders on Robinhood specifically. Let's see if we can find it. Do we have a video of this? Hold on, because there was a news interview about this, and I wanna see traders. Let's see here. No, I'm not finding it. If I find it, I'll add it. I didn't even realize. Now I can do a whole bunch of different stuff. I'm gonna have to start planning ahead even a little bit more because I really wish I could have pulled that up. But they were talking about Wall Street got so upset that people were making money and that they were losing at the game that they'd set up for themselves that they were literally on national television telling people that they should be going outside and going on dates and interacting with girls and not sitting online trading. Um, hold on. Man. No, that's current political climate. No, they're not gonna have it. But we're gonna sit here. So anyway, when you I think I found it. I think I might have found it. Okay, I might have found it, but we're gonna go through this. We're gonna get through this part, and we're gonna see what we find. Hold on. We're seeing what we're finding here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, never mind. That's not what we needed. So, anyways, back to the topic at hand. Robinhood literally turned off trades for people. Like suddenly you couldn't trade anymore. You couldn't sell at the top, and then the prices started falling and people began losing money, still couldn't trade. The services were randomly shut down. Very similar to the types of things that we see in the crypto market, specifically Coinbase, when the price either surges up or surges down. If there's a big price movement either direction, for some odd reason, every time, coincidentally, Coinbase can't keep up and stuff doesn't work and people are locked out of their accounts and can't make moves based on what's going on till things settle down a little bit. But that's understandable because crypto's risky. Crypto's unregulated, they say. Crypto is dangerous. It's a scary place. But they did this on Robinhood. They also did this across multiple other exchanges, Robinhood being the worst because that's where most of these traders congregated because they were new to the market, didn't have a lot of money, don't have those established relationships with institutions, and Robinhood offered a segue for them to get into the traditional finance market, which was all good and well and cute until they started winning. Then Robinhood started blocking them out. Coincidentally, like that's just wild that they start destroying Wall Street. Next thing you know, they can't log in. So if you are one of those traders that is affected, I have another site for you that I found. I'm going to share it with you. It is topclassactions.com. Now there is and this is currently open for you guys to still file for claims. Like me personally, I was already well into crypto during that time period, so I did not participate in the AMC GameStop deal. I was too busy making a bunch of other bags in the Wild Wild West, building up my skills at that. But this place is tracking that case, and currently it is still in an open for claims state. So I wanted to make sure that you guys saw that as well, because some of the people who follow my channel and some of my guys over here are in the traditional financial side. I also do have a portfolio that I'm currently rebuilding back out that we're gonna start diving into eventually. But I'm not an active trader. I am a very long-term trader. I don't even actively trade crypto. Like it's just non-productive for me. Like there's much better ways to get to bags. But what I will do is I will drop this down into the description for this video specifically. So that way, when I upload it, I will save this link and I will have that. It will be pinned up towards, it'll be at the top of the description. It'll be the first or second thing up there. Probably the first since this is relevant to the stream. Yeah, that's where it's going to be. It'll be at the top of the description. I'm going to add it in for you guys because I want to make sure that as many people that can get a piece of this, if you were affected, you definitely, I mean, they're probably not going to give you what you deserve, but it's better than nothing. And these people need to be held accountable, even though in the grand scheme of things, this isn't holding them accountable because $9.9 million based off of what they made during that time period is nothing. This is just a fee for service at that point. But you know, if that's the way they're gonna roll, then we're gonna let them do what they got to do. But you guys got to do what you got to do as well. So get your money. I will have this in the description for those of you who were affected by the Robinhood malarkey, where the traditional finance showed its true colors. That it's not set up for you guys to win. It's not set up for us to win. At large. If we start winning too hard, they're going to just turn it off. They'll make us lose. They'll get back in the position of authority that they've set the game up for because the game was set up for them and not for us, which is why over here at Future Financial Strategies, we're working on becoming the thems. That's all there is to it. If they're going to set the game up that way, then we just need to get to the other side of the line so that way we can play on equal footing. We know what it is. We're adapting. And we're working on getting over to that side of the line because we don't want to be stuck in average, less than average, impoverished states. We want to be rich. We want to get to the bag. Now, the next thing, we're going to go ahead and drop this out. I'm coming back to you. Okay. So the next thing, the next part of this video is going to be 4 red flags, because obviously we're still carrying over the importance of your pack, and we are running around like wild dogs. So with that said, I'm going to jump into it. There are 4, these are my 4 key metrics that I dial in on. I sat and thought about this, and I was like, what are 4 things that make me not want to be around a person in regards to mindset of if they're going to fit in with my tribe? And I narrowed down in on 4 metrics that I look at, none of which is their personal net worth or what's in their bank account. They're all mindset things, because you can fix a bank account. Fixing a mindset's much harder. You got to have a lot of patience, which I don't. You have to have a lot of time, which I don't. There's just a lot of things involved in getting set up to deal with somebody who has a mindset that's contradictory to where you're trying to go. And I'm not trying to forcefully drag a horse to water and then have to submerge its head in the water using all of my strength to make it drink. Like, it's not that ain't how I'm functioning. I am not one who believes that we're all going to make it. Not everybody's set up to win, but me personally, I want to be around winners. I want to be around people that I can put in position. I want to be around people that, you know, maybe I give them some game where they're doing better than me. But what I don't want to do is be around people that I got to fight with tooth and nail to get them to better themselves. I'm not doing it. So we're going to dive in. Number 1, has a problem for every solution. You offer them a solution for whatever problem they give you, and they're like, oh, well, I got another problem for that solution too. And what they're doing is they're trying to not move forward. And people that are trying to not move forward have a set mean where they want to exist, and they will go through all sorts of hoops and hurdles and great lengths to stay there. And I say, let them. It's not your job to drag somebody out of their own self-fulfilling failure. Again, that is not your job. That is not what we're here to do. You will drown yourself trying to save somebody who's trying to drag you down to the bottom of the pool. It's too much work. Like if they're going to drown the both of you, then it's better off to just let them drown. Let them stay there. Let them keep their excuses. Let them keep their problems. Those people are generally always negative. There's no purpose served in the life of someone who is trying to move forward to have somebody of that level in their circle or cipher. You shouldn't even expose that person to your friends. If you got friends that are moving forward, because you bringing them in, that's a mark against you that you brought somebody of that nature into the group. You bringing poison in. It's not helpful. So that's a red flag. Red flag number 2. Content with the current situation when the current situation isn't something that is good for the common person. Definitely not acceptable by you for you. It's not a life that you would want. So if you're dealing with somebody who has been on Section 8 their whole life, they're content with staying on Section 8 their whole life. They don't want to move off Section 8. But they got an opinion on what everybody's doing, and they pocket watching everybody else, and they got stuff to say about that. That's somebody that you probably don't want to spend the bulk of your time with. Like, they have no drive, and people with no drive are going to constantly pick at you about your drive. Oh, you work too hard. Oh, why are you doing all that? You ain't gonna accomplish nothing. Oh, why are you trying? Just be on Section 8, live next door to me in squalor and filth. Why are you doing all this extra work? Why are you working overtime? They don't deserve overtime. You working like a slave. When they're sitting at home getting a handout, but they got opinions on everything. Those people, leave them where they at. They're not living good lives. Those are also the same people who will tell you that money doesn't make you happy. And while money does not make you happy, it buys everything. It gives you options. It gives you the ability to move. Oh, I'm happy where I'm at. Like, if you know a man who is happy getting a handout from a government system that is now in control of his life and his house, remove that man from your circle. I wouldn't even be friends with that man. That's not even a manly state to be in. That's not even a state to where this man is going to be useful for literally anything. That is a worthless man. He does not deserve to be in the cipher. Next, number 3, hates the wealthy. Now, this one's gonna hit a little bit different, but if we are trying to be wealthy, and I'm gonna say this for everybody who's listening, if you're trying to be wealthy, which over here at Future Financial Strategies, that's literally what we're doing. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to progress. We're trying to create a financial situation where we have the ability to make the moves that the upper class, the wealthy, the 1%, whatever you want to label them, have, so that we can move on equal footings with them. That doesn't mean that we have to participate in the nefariousness that they do. It doesn't mean that we have to be affected by the greed that they do. But in order to fight a battle with somebody, you have to be on equal footing. And that's the angle of this channel. I'm not saying get rich by any means possible. I'm saying do the proper progressive steps to set your household, your family up to be in the best position that they can. So that way, when some of the more nefarious moves are made, we are able to make our moves as well and counter our moves and make sure that we're secure. Our tribe is secure. You can't be something that you despise or hate. You can't hate rich people and simultaneously be like, oh, I'm going to try and be one of them. That your brain doesn't work like that. Like, you can't do both. So if you got somebody in the tribe that, or in the pack, that just hates rich people, and y'all are supposedly trying to get wealthy, then that doesn't work. That's not going to work out the way that you think it's going to work out. that person will be an anchor. That person will be a detractor. That person will find ways to fail or to drag the group back or to keep all of you in the same position. That is also somebody who you don't want to spend the lion's share of your time with. I'm not going to tell anybody how to live their lives. I'm just saying low value people deserve less time than high value people. You can't, there's no equality here. Doesn't exist. There are people that are going to help you move forward in life, and there are people that are going to hold you back, and they do not have the same amount of value to your life, regardless whether it's family, friends, whatever. There has to be a hierarchy there. The last one, and one of the ones that is super annoying to me, and honestly, it could have been the first one. People who have no self-accountability. Or as we like to say in some of these spaces, the victim Olympians. And this is speaking from my experience. You can sit on here and I can give my experience, my anecdotal experience. People give their anecdotal experiences and they just extrapolate that out onto the world. And it becomes a conversation of, oh, well, the white man is the reason I'm not rich. As though there are not poor white people. Oh, it's systemic racism is the reason I couldn't get my credit together and go buy a house because they wouldn't let me. But there's black people that buy houses quite regularly. Oh, but then if I sell the houses, so I didn't get as much as I was supposed to because the white man did it. And there's black people who sell their houses regularly and get market value for the neighborhoods that they're in. But nothing's their fault. They're in a bad position, but none of it's their fault. And I mean, I don't know the trailer park equivalent you can extrapolate this over. I'm giving anecdotal experience, obviously, from my experience. But no matter how you explain it out, like when I explained to them how I bought my first property, how I'm saving up for my second property. Oh, well, you lucky. Oh, the white man's putting you on because you're a sellout. And it just doesn't make sense because I'm just like, well, I work more hours than you. That's because you a slave. Like, okay, well, so none of this is your fault. No, it's the white man. It's racism. It's something else. It's always something outside of me. Well, this happened. Oh, well, this happened. Like, if you're just constantly being affected by everything and everyone else in life, that's a terrible existence. And frankly, those type of people, I also leave where they're at because they're just in the way. Those are people that get stepped over to get where you're going. They're very, very seldom do they actually serve a purpose, because if your mindset is that broken and you are just that victimized by everything, then you're living a bad existence, and you don't want to see people who are not living a bad existence thriving. And we're trying to thrive over here. So there's zero room for those people in the cipher. So those are the four that I got. It's a quick one. Updates for this week as far as the continuation of my journey to get into the city private banking sphere. I am currently $300 away from hitting the savings metrics for my second account that I set up with them. So that means that we are almost to the point to where we get to open up the brokerage account. Now, when we open up the brokerage account, that's when things are going to start running free. I'm excited about it. And actually, I've made a decision that once we get there, because like the savings account goal is $1,500. And obviously, we're busting down these checks every time they come in. I've got a set amount that's budgeted to go to that specifically on top of my investment money, which is cool. Forcing myself to save a little bit more, dialing in that budget a little bit. But the really cool part about it is what I've been thinking is that savings is literally deductible money. So I'm going to shift 1,000 of that over into the brokerage account, because if I need it, I can just cash out of that account and move it over to my cash account, and then I can get to the deductible money. And I'm not intending, knock on wood, on running my car into anything or having it totaled, because that's what that initial cash is for. Because generally speaking, if you have a catastrophic event or you're touching a deductible, it's usually either your health insurance or your car. So I'm going to move that over because I don't need to have access to that much cash. I don't like holding cash. I don't believe in it. Cash is going down in value. We're seeing massive amounts of inflation. I am not comfortable holding cash, and I really don't want more than $500 sitting loose. So it's not going to be. That's the decision that I've made. But I've got $300 more, and then I get to open up the brokerage account, which I am super excited about. And I'm going to, once we do that, I'm going to have some of my insights and some of my little intricacies of how I set those accounts up. And, we're going to be off to the races. It's going to be great. With that said, we are at the end of the show. Ways to support the channel, which I also should have done at the front, but like everything's new and I'm not used to doing this in this fashion. So what we're going to do is we are going to tell you how to support the show now. Obviously, I've got the Cash App at the top, the ways to get a hold of me at the bottom there, branding, got a new logo up at the top corner there. That's pretty cool. But ways to support the show: you can like, subscribe, drop me a comment. I do respond to the comments. In the description, there is a link tree that has all my links on it. But for those of you who are not familiar with my stuff, hit the link tree because that's got all the stuff in it. But ways to get a hold of me for collaborations, I guess as this grows, sponsorships, all that, whatever that stuff is, like whatever. recklessraydinero@gmail.com. It's just me over here. So if you reach out to me on any social media platform or email me, it's just me on this channel. I manage it myself. I am not super special yet. I'm not bougie. I can't afford an assistant. I can't do any of that stuff. But what I do have is me. So that way, if you reach out, you're talking to me. So like I do respond, I like to think I'm a pretty prompt responder. Like outside of me being at work in the middle of something, I do respond relatively fast. So definitely reach out. I do respond to all my comments. So definitely reach out and touch base with me there as well. Like, let me know what your thoughts are. How do you guys like the new layout? I mean, the new layout, new boss, same as the old boss. I want consistent branding across the board. So like, obviously if you've seen me over on Guns and Butter, this is basically the exact same. It's a little bit different, but more or less the same. Just because, it's a good way to look at things, a good way to keep it consistent so that you found the right guy. Also, you'll see down there at the bottom, got some more new stuff coming. High Value Net. At High Value Net on YouTube. Another way to get tapped into the movement. We're going to have some stuff coming over there with me and my boy Casey Moe doing some big things. For those of you who tapped in for the whole video, thank you so much. For those of you who got bits and pieces, I hope this was helpful. Ways to support the channel: it's got the Cash App. I actually added the Venmo. I got Venmo. So I got Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. That's basically all the ways to send me monies. There was also, you can send me Bitcoin and Ethereum. I got those addresses down there too for my crypto heads. And yeah, it's your boy, Reckless Ray. Hopefully you're having a good week. Definitely catch us tonight over on ISYLP Network, which runs 24 hours. When there's not a show on, there is music. We're going to be doing Guns and Butter this evening. Hopefully you guys are having a good week. Hopefully you're getting ready to go into Bag Fortification Friday. So that's what we do over here. We fortify bags. We bust down those checks appropriately, make sure that we're paying ourselves first. Don't go tricking off the bag. Don't go fumbling the bag. We're building over here. With that said, it's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and I'm signing out. Peace.